Great. We're telling stories that we've never told before. I am a visual artist, and so I brought some visuals to tell the story. I don't always know where what I like to do fits in, and I'm sure a lot of you feel that same way. I'm Scott the Painter on Instagram, and I make things, and I speak, and I tour, and I've done a couple one-man shows. And I was telling a friend, I was like, look, I'm not trying to be a professional comedian, meaning there's a network of comedy clubs that you can put yourself into and build a career out of that. And I'm not trying to be a professional, spiritual, religious kind of person, meaning there's a network of churches, temples, whatever, that you can put yourself into and build a career out of that. Because I actually feel like life is a mixture of sacred moments and dick jokes at the same time, right? And you can't go to a comedy club. You can't go to a comedy club and you can't go to a comedy club and be sacred because they're like, hey, this isn't the place for that. Nor can you go to the sacred space and be really crass. That's not the place for that either. And I understand both contexts, I really do. I understand why they exist. I just think when we're in either one, we wish it was like a little bit more because we understand, because we understand that we are a little bit more.
Yes.
And so what I've tried to build and speak and do things is a little bit more what life is like. I've been doing this work for like 8 years, and I came to this question in my life, which is, I want to get to the next level. Have you ever said this to yourself? I want to get to the next level. And who do I look to in this odd way of sacred moments and dick jokes or something? Who could I go, like, I think they're at the next level that I'd like to get to? And for this question for me, and I look a lot at speakers and comedians and stuff, that doesn't really resonate. The only person that really resonates with me getting to the next level is a person named Rob Bell. And I don't know if you know who that is. I'm sure a lot of you don't. Rob Bell was really famous in like the 90s, 2000s. He became a church in Grand Rapids, Michigan, became really big, and he had a big podcast before there was podcasts. He toured, and what I liked about him is he's kind of a mix of these things where he's a spiritual communicator, but he lives on planet Earth. You know, he's not too spacey. He's a pastor, but he's not a dick. And he would do these tours where he would basically give a sermon or a talk, and they would be at bars. There's spiritual talks at bars, and I was like, that is my jam. He also, he toured with Oprah. He's best friends with Elizabeth Gilbert. He was voted People's 100 people, interesting people, and now he lives in Ojai, California, which is pretty great. So, at the time, this is a few years ago, I was living in Austin, Texas, and I saw that he was actually going to come through town and speak. I know a friend of his that, so I contacted Mike and I said, hey, I'm trying to get to the next level, and I was wondering if you could contact Rob and see if I could talk to him when he's in town. And so Mike texted me back and he's like, yeah, Rob says that go to the show, and then after the show, just go back to the back of the theater and go to the stage door, and he'll meet you there. So the day of the show comes, and I go to the show, and I buy a ticket just for myself. I don't tell anybody else that I'm going. I just go to the show, and it's at the Paramount Theater in Austin, and there's actually a lot of people I know there, and I'm just sitting there by myself, seeing some other friends. The show goes, he does his thing. It's great, it's fun. In the lobby, and I see two good friends of mine, Jeremy and Kyle, and we're chatting, and I was like, how did the show? Oh, that was cool, all that stuff. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go backstage and talk to Rob. You guys wanna come with me? And they're like, yeah. So we walk around the theater to the back alley, and we come to the backstage door, and it's cracked a little bit. I open it up, and Rob is there talking with another couple. We just kind of wait. He shakes hands with them, and he comes over to us. Now, I don't expect to become friends with a hero of mine. Like, have you ever tried to be friends with a hero of yours? It doesn't really work. And I've met him many times, whatever. I was like, I don't expect us to go hang at the bar or anything like that. I just have some questions I want to ask him as a professional who's trying to get to the next level, right? So I have these questions. So he comes over, and I'm going to tell this story, and I want to say that Rob Bell did nothing wrong in this story, all right? He comes over to us. We come to him. He's like, hey, Rob, my name is Scott. I'm friends with Mike, who contacted you about me coming and talking to you. And he's like, oh, obviously doesn't remember. And I'm like, these are my friends, Kyle and Jeremy, and they were at the show too, and they just came back with me, and he's like, great. And they're like, oh, great show. They're talking. At one point, Jeremy goes, Scott actually does some like what you do. And Rob goes, oh, no follow-up. And so it's just this like kind of shallow chit-chat thing it's just kind of pleasantries and stuff. And internally, I'm like, get to the questions. Stop wasting his time. You're not going to become, this is not the moment that your friendship ensues. Just like, ask your questions, get to the thing. And so I'm looking at him, and I'm going to like go, hey, I just have a couple questions I'd like to ask you. But before I say that, my internal voice speaks to me and says, he has nothing to offer you because everything you need is already inside of you. Dang it. And I'm just standing there as listening to them talk going, okay. Well, I guess I have nothing to say. And so I end the conversation. I go, hey, great show. Thanks for taking the time to say hi to us. And, where are you going next? Cool, but it's great night. And he's like, yeah, great meeting all of you. Kyle, nice to meet you. Jeremy, nice to meet you. Hey, Scott, keep speaking. That's what he says. Keep speaking. I go home, I tell my wife this story, and she goes, why did you do that? That's so embarrassing. And I was like, I wanted somebody, I haven't had a lot of mentors, maybe you feel the same way. I wanted somebody who I looked up to go, I see you, what questions do you have? Let's talk about it. But then I got subverted with my interior voice that was like, you don't need anything from him. What you need isn't in him, it's in you. I don't know if you're familiar with the word pilgrimage. I'm sure we all kind of are. People go on pilgrimages. They go to another place. Now, the simple definition of a pilgrimage, if you're going to go on a pilgrimage, is this. There's a treasure in your life that you're trying to unlock. And you don't go to the other country, the other land to find that treasure. You go to the other place to find the key. Because then you find the key in an unfamiliar place. And you bring that back to your normal, everyday life, and that unlocks the treasure. A friend of mine, she's a professional speech coach, and she got invited to this I don't want to shit talk this guy, but a really famous coach on leadership and speaker and stuff like that. And he's older in years, and I think he's just trying to do a lot of money grabbing right now because he's doing this event where he's like, I'm going to have 30 people at my house for a 2-day event, and it only costs $10,000. And she got offered a chance to be there, and she's like, I'm not going to go. And I was like, it's not going to be good. Are you kidding me? At his house? Whatever. That guy's going to like take a dump upstairs and then like come down, and he's not going to talk to anybody. He's going to rattle off all his old stories, not listen. He has nothing to give you. Everybody there who paid $10,000 is like, if I can be next to this guy, it'll help me get to the next level. And that is a lie. And I'm not trying to be a little like didactic here, but I'll say this. What I've learned is that getting to the next level has nothing to do with about ascent, but it has everything to do with descent. Woo! And this isn't all of our shitty myth stories that Hollywood put it. Look, I couldn't. Then this is where it's a bit of improv. It's like, look, Iron Man 3 is not a good movie. But it's interesting because in the movie, Tony Stark loses his suit. And he spends the whole movie going, am I a suit or is it me? What is the Iron Man? Is it me or the machine? Dark Knight Rises, it's okay. Yeah, but he literally gets put in a cave, and the only way to get out is if he understands why he wants to get out of the cave, and he's going to risk his life to do it. And then I need a third example, preferably of a woman.
Inanna's descent, but that's a myth.
Oh, that's a big myth. We need a little more for dumb pop people. Tell me later. But in the rule of comedy thirds, this is what's lacking. Right? Because, what is the next slide? Oh yes, because this is how the descent works. It's not necessarily getting to the next level is walking up. Getting to the next level is descending and then coming to the next level. It's descending and coming to the next level. And what the descent is taking away all the things that you put around you to what you think you need and getting it all out of the way to get to what you love and what you want to say. And what you think is most important to you if you had nothing to lose. Yeah. And so I woke up that next morning, and I thought about it. And I was like, was that a disappointing experience? I don't know, maybe it was. But what I wrote in my journal is I said, look, you can't convince your heroes to care about what you're doing. All you can do is care about what you're doing. So much so that you keep doing it. Because maybe one day, one of your heroes will message you on Instagram and say, hey, next time you're in Denver, come over to my house and I'll cook you soup. And that was what Nadia did. If you don't none of you know any of these people, it's fine. Travis and I do. And in my studio, at my desk, I have this pinned to my wall. Keep speaking, Rob Bell. Because he doesn't care about what I'm doing. But he's right.